Hello. As you can see, I'm in the closet again, and I have been thinking about doing a video all weekend, and God's been laying something on my heart to say, but I just kept putting it off, and I keep telling him that I really don't think anybody else will understand it, but he keeps laying it on my heart, so I don't know, maybe somebody will get it. Well, then I told him this morning I will do it later, but he just told me just a minute ago, no, go do the video right now, right this second. And so I said, well, I have no makeup on and my hair's not fixed. And he said, I don't care, but I did talk him into let me put on a little bit of lip gloss, so here you go. Whatever. Anyways, What I want to share with you and what has really been on my heart this whole weekend is that most of you know I've been at a conference. And at this conference for my business that I'm involved in, we have ranks and we have titles. And as I'm walking around my conference this weekend, I'm catching myself looking at people's name tags and seeing their rank. And I'm catching myself, thinking, oh, look at them. They're a triple, or they're a presidential. Oh, look, there's an ambassador. And I'm catching myself putting them almost on a pedestal, and you see people waiting in line wanting to get their autographs with VIP, and maybe you don't understand that because you don't work in a company like we do, but for somebody that's a Gator fan, that would be the same thing as waiting in line to get a picture with Tim Tebow, or a country music fan would be waiting in line to get a picture with that guy who shakes his butt, Luke Brian, I don't know, whatever his name is, or an actor, someone. So, it just was dawning on me that we hold people on a pedestal and we hold people by titles. And it might not be a title in a company, and it might not be a title as a celebrity, but what I started thinking about this weekend is when I was on maternity leave and I was on my couch and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't cut hair. And I couldn't do It Works, and I couldn't cook. Not that I do, but if I wanted to, I couldn't. And I couldn't do a lot with the kids. I was in a lot of pain, and I had to be on bed rest. And I got really depressed, and I started trying to figure out why. And it was because I felt like I didn't have a lot of value. I didn't have value as a business owner, or as a mom, or as a leader with It Works, or as a wife. And maybe you're sitting here thinking that doesn't really make sense, but if you've never been in that situation, then it probably doesn't make sense. But I want to encourage you to stop and think about the fact that if you couldn't do what you're doing right now, then how would it make you feel? We get our worth and value out of what we do. So if you're a mom and you stay at home, and you probably get a lot of value out of keeping your house in order and out of keeping your kids going and keeping your husband fed on, and that's good. That there's nothing wrong with that, but we do put a lot of value into that. If you couldn't do that anymore, would you still feel needed? If you are a man and watching this video, which probably a lot are not, but if you get value out of providing for your family, you go to work, you provide for your family. If you couldn't do that anymore, how would you feel? If you run a successful business and you couldn't do that anymore, how would that make you feel? Just take some time and think about that, because I don't think we do. And what dawned on me this weekend as I'm walking around looking at these titles, and I'm doing it, I'm looking at them like, oh, look, there's a so-and-so, there's a so-and-so, or if we see a celebrity, oh, look, the first title that we have is a child of God. The very first title. The very first thing. So when I was on my couch this summer and I couldn't do a lot, I had to really dig deep and say, it doesn't matter if I sit here forever. The very first title I have is a child of God. And that's my highest calling. That's my number one title. Yes, it's good that I'm a wife and a mom, and I enjoy doing hair, and I enjoy being a leader, and It Works. But my very first thing is a child of God. That's my very first title. And that should be enough. That's my value. That's my worth. And that's what I need to get it out of. And so this weekend, as I was walking around looking and seeing their name tags and putting them on a pedestal, I started stepping back and thinking, oh, look, there's a presidential, but she's a child of God first. And oh, look, he's an ambassador, but first he's a child of God. And so I just really wanted to share that with you guys, that that's what we are first. Yes, we're a mom and we're a wife and we're a husband or we're a business owner. Whatever we may have as a title, we don't need to put all of our worth into that, because in a second, life can change and it could be taken away from us. And, our who is not what we do. Our who is Jesus, what he did. We don't need to get them confused, because first of all, I'm a child of God, and if I sat on that couch the rest of my life and did nothing, didn't cut one more head of hair, didn't cook one more meal, which is highly likely because I don't like to cook and my husband's good at it, so why not? I would still be a child of God if I didn't do anything else. If I didn't do anything with It Works, I would still be a child of God. Our who is not what we do. Our who is Jesus. And so I just really wanted to share that. I know I've rambled, but it's just really on my heart. I hope it makes sense. I hope somebody needed it, because I told God I didn't know if anybody would get it. I didn't really know if anybody would understand it, but he just kept laying it on my heart. So whatever, maybe somebody gets it, whatever. Bye.